Amanda, I want to play a game.
Hey horror freaks, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda. As you can see from the title, yes, I got to watch Good Boy. So that is going to be my review for the day. This is going to be a spoiler-free review because I saw it on a screener, so that is my rule. So without anything else to say, let's get straight into the video. And follows a loyal dog that moves to a rural family home with his owner, only to discover supernatural forces lurking in the shadows. As dark entities threaten his human companion, the brave pup must fight to protect the one he loves most. The film has a running time of 1 hour and 12 minutes, so it's quite short. And to summarize it without saying a lot, the film opens giving us a brief introduction of the owner and the dog, that his name is Indy, and by some things that happen, they end at this house in the middle of nowhere that used to belong to a family member of the owner. And as soon as they arrive, Indy can sense that something is wrong because he cannot speak. There's nothing that he can really do other than try to alert to his owner that something is on this house. He's going to have to confront this entity if he wants to save his owner, and that is exactly what he's going to do. And that is the best way to summarize this movie without giving any spoilers. So getting into the review, I was very excited for this film. When I first read about the concept, I was very intrigued because a movie from the perspective of a dog, that is a pretty cool concept. It's not something that I have at least seen before, and even less on a horror movie, because usually we have dogs on the background. Yes, we can see that they're sensing something, but they aren't taken into account. So what they are seeing or feeling, we will never know. But with this one, this dog steals the show. Indy, he's an actor. I was so impressed from the moment that the film starts all the way to the end. With the eyes alone, it's saying everything. Projects when it's feeling scared, when he's worried, when he is barking, he's like crying. I don't know how they did that, but it's fantastic. A detail that I love it is that they took into full account that we are watching this from the perspective of Indy, so that means that the camera level is mostly low. That doesn't mean that we are watching the floor or the ground and that we're not seeing everything above, but instead it's like watching up. So we get those scenes where he is looking at his owner and we are seeing him a similar angle as the dog, and the majority of the time that the camera it's moving with the dog, we are on his eye level. This reminded me to Skinamarink, that is an experimental film from Shudder, and it reminded me due to the camera, since in Skinamarink we get that same level because we are on the perspective of a child, and the only difference is that Skinamarink we get long periods of time that we are seeing nothing. Here at least something is always happening. I have to say that this one is not going to be for everyone. This is not an action-packed film. We see him running around the house, seeing things, and then him being on the forest, him seeing other stuff, and running around the house, being with his owner. There's only one moment towards the end that we get semi-action scene with Indy. But besides that scene, it's a pretty calm movie. Although they had their limitations, because you can really tell that they had limitations due to the budget, they did a fantastic job with the cinematography. Those shots of Indy, they are beautiful. We have close-ups of him, then we go wide, and we have him on rocks, on the bed, on the middle of the hall. And although the film is dark, the way that it's all placed and framed, it's honestly impressive to look, because you could be expecting for them to have a pretty basic cinematography or not taking the time to craft something worth watching visual, but they did, and I feel that that is what makes this film worth watching. Besides Indy, his owner, there is a detail about him that I cannot mention it because it's going to be a spoiler, but there was a detail about him that I noticed pretty quickly, and I thought this has to have a deeper meaning. There's no way that this is casual. So I kept that in mind, and when we get to the end, that is when it makes sense. If you watch this movie, keep an eye to the owner. The sound effects, they are also pretty good. As expected, the sounds, they play a huge part on the story and the atmosphere that is building up, even when the story is pretty simple and straightforward. This is not an overcomplicated film. It's not trying to be something else. This is just a simple story, but told from a different perspective. This film could have been done on the traditional way. The owner as a protagonist. But here, when you switch the perspective and you work with the camera and you put the audience at the same level as the dog, it's immersive and it works and it's original. I have to say that the ending wasn't predictable, but the story on itself, when you look a little bit deeper, it's sad. I feel that they did a good job making you care not only about the dog but also his owner. But I think that you can tell that I really enjoyed Good Boy. This is not going to be for everyone. I don't know if theater experience is going to make a difference, since sometimes I feel that watching films at home, you can feel more distracted than on a movie theater. And I feel that just like with Skinamarink, you have to be on the mindset that you're going to be watching a film that is going to be a simple story, that visually is going to be captivating, but there's not a lot of action going around. And as a result, you may feel bored about the movie. So I feel that that is something that should be taken into account before watching it. I can fully understand if someone does not like this movie, as I fully understood why a lot of people didn't like Skinamarink. I did like Skinamarink. If you're interested in watching it, you wanna see this dog still in the show and doing a hell of a good job, go to the theaters and watch this. For me, this one it's a 4 out of 5 and an 8 out of 10. I don't know what else will be coming from the team behind this movie, but I am really looking forward for it. So like I said, this one is now available in theaters and is going to be eventually available on Shudder. But with this, I have ended this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below if you saw this movie, what are your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to see you guys on my next video. Bye.